Caitlyn brought tens of millions of new viewers into the W, and there's no denying that impact. She's the most popular athlete in America. Honestly, I thought this was a turning point for the WNBA that the league had finally accepted Caitlyn Clark and was ready to celebrate her and the millions of new fans growing the game. I was way off. It only took one game to confirm that the issues plaguing the WNBA in 2024 aren't just back, they're worse. They want Caitlyn Clark to be arrested. The fallout from the first Fever Sky matchup has been an absolute disaster for the league from a PR standpoint. This is getting crazy. This is getting absolutely crazy. Instead of talking about the insane viewership numbers, which I'll get to in a second, we've got petitions, investigations, and a whole lot of ugliness being thrown at Caitlyn Clark and the Fever. It's gotten so ugly after just one game that you have to stop and ask, is the league and its fans really ready to succeed with Caitlyn Clark? Or deep down, would they rather fail without her? Let's get right into the ugliness. You won't believe some of the stuff that's being said. It's legit insane. But first, like this video and drop a trash can in the comments, so we have enough storage for the garbage coming out of the W right now. Okay, I have to play this because given what we just witnessed, it's honestly comical. You need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. This is Commissioner Kathy Engelbert talking about the importance of rivalries. Specifically, Angel Reese versus Caitlyn Clark. And according to her, players not being nice to each other is a good thing. It's what fans want to see. It's what makes the league exciting. It's supposed to drive engagement, storylines, and growth. Now, personally, I don't think Angel versus Caitlyn is a real rivalry, because talent-wise, they're just not in the same orbit. But you can't argue with the ratings. Last year, their matchups were among the most viewed games in women's basketball. And this year, the league doubled down, scheduling them to face off 5 times. And in their first meeting of the season, Kathy got exactly what she wanted: Caitlyn Clark in the aftermath. Everyone in the arena had to know this foul was coming. As soon as you saw Angel Reese wide open, you knew that Caitlyn Clark was going to come in and take that foul. Angel Reese shoved Natasha Howard. Caitlyn Clark followed it up with a hard foul. Angel got up, went after Caitlyn, and just like that, we had fireworks. It got people talking. Clips were everywhere. It was chaos. It was drama. It was everything a rivalry game is supposed to be. I'm not even analyzing the play at this point. From a pure bad blood standpoint, mission accomplished. And after the game, both players basically said the same thing. Just a basketball play. Don't read too much into it. Move on. You'd think this would be a huge win for the league. Caitlyn Clark dropped a triple-double. Dana Bonner moved up to 3rd on the all-time scoring list. And the game drew 7 million viewers, the most watched regular season WNBA game since 2000. Yeah, back when frosted tips were cool. But this is the WNBA. And if there's one thing we've learned, it's that the WNBA can't have nice things, because things quickly turned ugly. This all has been blown out of proportion and now has morphed into an ongoing outrage circle cycle that continues every single time these two players do anything. The reaction to the foul was insane. What should have been a normal, heated basketball moment, a hard foul in a rivalry game, turned into something much darker. We've gone way, way, way out of bounds. Fans went way outside the bounds of just debating the play. It wasn't about basketball anymore. It got ugly fast. The attacks started coming in not just against Caitlyn Clark, but against the Fever players who dared to defend her when Angel Reese went after her. People started questioning their character, their intentions, even their motivations, all for backing up their teammate in a high-stakes moment. Even Angel Reese, who was involved in the incident, reposted a TikTok mocking Caitlyn Clark as a white girl running away from confrontation. And anyone who criticized Angel became open season. In response to RG3's comment that Angel Reese seemed to hate Caitlyn, Ryan Clark fired back, essentially implying that RG3 only supported Caitlyn because his wife is white. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over black women by denigrating black women. It stopped being about sports and turned into something personal, toxic, and frankly embarrassing for a league trying to grow. The kind of stuff that's being said to them, the stuff that's being said to Kelsey Mitchell, the kind of things that are being said to Natasha Howard are actually wild. People have taken a photo of these women and circled a bullseye on them and have said it's on site when I see you. Those are actual threats. This was exactly the kind of hate and unsafe environment the WNBA claimed it wanted to fight with its No Space for Hate campaign. You'd think this would be the moment for the league to step up to protect its players. And guess what? They launched an investigation. Oh, but it wasn't about any of this. It has escalated into something where now there is an investigation going on because there has been hateful fan comments supposedly directed towards Angel Ree. The league launched an investigation into what was deemed hateful behavior in the arena. Players put out statements. Teams released carefully crafted PR responses. Everyone rushed to denounce hate immediately. But here's the question no one seems willing to ask. Did anyone actually hear anything? What seems to have happened is the WNBA saw things that people were saying on Twitter that ended up being lies, because now, and I can say that with full conviction, because now we have seen a million angles of what they were talking about. Many have speculated that the WNBA only took action because of Twitter comments. People claiming they heard things at the game, but something about this whole situation smells fishy. Let's start with one of the biggest allegations that monkey noises were played over the loudspeakers while Angel Reese was shooting free throws. That's a serious accusation. But here's the question. Was that actually the case? These quote-unquote monkey noises, as whoever tried to claim, is actually the laugh of this guy Flight Reacts, which is a YouTuber. This is the laugh it sounded like piped into the arena. But people were claiming, okay, they were making monkey noises or something like that, and the crowd was there. Right here, monkey sounds were made when Angel Reese was taking her free throws from the flagrant. This has all been disproven. And as for any other things that may have been said and could warrant an investigation, Caitlin Clark and the Fever didn't hear anything. When asked directly, they said they weren't aware of any inappropriate fan behavior. Tyler Marsh, the Sky head coach, also confirmed that he didn't hear anything either. Coach, when did you become aware that there was hate speech that happened? I think when everyone else did. I think that, it's something that, we heard about. And so, again, we're just forthcoming with anything that it's something we heard about. Something we heard about. He has essentially confirmed that what we all thought that the allegations made were because of the Flight React sound effect. So yeah, these are allegations that seem to have spun out of X posts, anonymous claims with no names, no sources, and no evidence that's been made public. And really, I'm no criminal investigator, but it doesn't seem likely they're going to find anything. And a lot of analysts are saying the same thing. It feels like the league is chasing shadows, reacting to viral tweets instead of verified facts. Do I believe that something racist actually happened at the game on Saturday? No, I don't. I don't believe they're going to find any evidence of anything that actually happened in the arena on Saturday. And the problem now is that not only do people think they're unlikely to find anything, there's also no indication that the league will come to a clear conclusion anytime soon. Nearly 3 days after allegations of racist comments in the Sky Fever game, I'm being told the WNBA has no timeline for completion of its investigation. But here's the big problem and why it feels like the league just can't get out of its own way. When you take official action based on what appears to be nothing more than unverified Twitter posts, you open a very dangerous door because now anyone can make a false report. Anyone can claim they heard something. And if there's no requirement for proof, it becomes impossible to disprove and impossible to manage. Though it's 100% false by acknowledging we don't condone hate and not seeing that this was an internet rumor founded of complete, you're lending credence to this. There was none of that. It was a Greek crowd, a positive crowd. Yeah. When you immediately and publicly launch an investigation and the teams start issuing official statements, you've already made up most people's minds. No matter what happens next, no matter what the investigation finds or doesn't find, it becomes fact in the public's eyes. If you make up a lie long enough, it becomes fact. If you make up a lie long enough, it becomes fact. And that's just the problem here. That is the problem with this whole thing. And doesn't matter. The quality of the evidence doesn't matter. Only the seriousness of the allegations. They may not find anything. And honestly, they may never say anything more about it. But at this point, the damage is already done. Indiana Fever fans have now been painted in a hateful light based on anonymous posts, not verified facts. And all of a sudden, the arena that was packed with record-breaking, passionate supporters is being framed as unsafe. It is now a thing. The media have doubled down that Indiana is unsafe. And this is the narrative that has now taken hold. That the conditions in Indiana are somehow unsafe. That fans who showed up in record numbers, who lined up hours early, who helped deliver one of the most watched games in league history, are now being branded as a problem. All based on a storyline built on speculation. And if there's a non-response from the league or they admit they found nothing, this is going to be a horrible look for the WNBA as an organization and nearly impossible to walk back. It is assumed that this is all based on a Twitter rumor and the WNBA started the investigation. I guess based on that, and if that's the case, I just wonder what the WNBA is going to say, because once that narrative takes root, it's incredibly hard to undo, especially when it's reinforced by the media, which of course wasted absolutely no time in reporting on the allegations as fact. The aftermath, the fact that the WNBA has to put out a statement because of racist comments and unsafe conditions toward Angel Ree. Now, because of online allegations, a knee-jerk response from the WNBA, an investigation that may not yield any conclusive findings, and a media that'll repeat the claims, fans are laying the boots to the Fever organization. They're using this situation as an excuse to go after the team, to go after Caitlin Clark, to question the culture, the fans, even the city. What started as an unverified Twitter rumor has turned into a full-on pile-on, and it's giving people who already had an agenda the perfect cover to attack. Now, fans are petitioning for the All-Star Game to not be held in Indiana because it's clearly not safe. There is a petition for Dave Portnoy to never be able to attend WNBA games. There is a petition for Caitlin Clark to be arrested. I'm not joking when I say this, arrested. That's right. It's gone completely off the rails. There are fans actually calling for the All-Star Game to be stripped from Indiana. Why? Because it's unsafe. They want Dave Portnoy banned from WNBA games. For what exactly? Booing Angel Ree. Last I checked, booing was still allowed in sports. And the last part, this one's wild. There are people out there accusing Caitlin Clark of criminal activity. And get this, the crime was dropping a triple-double. Apparently Dave Portnoy 5 minutes before the game, and this is all about Dave Portnoy, by the way. This is all about Dave Portnoy. They want her investigated for being in collusion with Dave Portnoy to get a triple-double. Like, what are we doing? So here's what actually happened. Dave Portnoy placed a bet that Caitlin Clark would get a triple-double. She did, and he won $350,000. And somehow fans spun that into a conspiracy theory. People started suggesting she was working with Dave Portnoy to make sure he hit his bet. Yeah, seriously. They think she orchestrated a triple-double for, I don't know, a cut of the payout or something. Now, I want you to remember something. Caitlin Clark is one of the highest-earning female athletes in the world. She just turned down $1 million by not playing in Unrivaled. And we're supposed to believe she risked her reputation, her integrity, and her career for a slice of $350,000 that she didn't even bet on. Well, apparently some people actually believe that, because when it comes to Caitlin Clark, logic goes out the window. It's crazy. Caitlin was caught on broadcast telling Stephanie White she needed one more rebound for a triple-double. Stephanie put her back in. This is literally illegal. What? What are you talking about? Literally illegal. But here's the thing. As silly as it sounds, as absolutely ridiculous as it is, these people are so deep in their hatred for Caitlin Clark that they're not just trolling anymore. They seriously want her to face criminal consequences. They're throwing around accusations and want her investigated all because she dropped a triple-double. Let that sink in. They want Caitlin Clark to go to jail for being really good at basketball. What they're accusing Caitlin Clark of will land her in jail? And I mean this. What they are accusing Caitlin Clark of will bring the league into disrepute and will land her in jail. These are people that claim to be game growers, that claim to want to grow the WNBA. And what they have done is, I'm not joking, made a baseless accusation, which, if true, will destroy the league. Here's what the haters and maybe even the WNBA don't seem to remember, or worse, what they don't seem to care about. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't constantly dunk on your new fans and the player they love and expect that your league will continue to grow. The vast majority of this audience, they have no loyalty to the WNBA. Their loyalty lies with Caitlin Clark. And that loyalty, it is not guaranteed to extend to the rest of this putrid league. The Caitlin Clark effect, while already massive, is still in its early stages. New fans don't become lifelong WNBA fans overnight. It takes years to build that connection. And right now, we're only in year 2. So far, the results have been incredible. These new fans are driving up viewership and attendance across the league. Networks are ordering more national broadcasts. Merch is flying off the shelves. It's an amazing situation, the kind of growth the league has been chasing for decades. But somehow all it takes is a hard foul and a few viral tweets. And suddenly people are so angry. They want the star who's driving all that growth to just disappear, to be punished, to be shamed, investigated, pushed out. They want the WNBA to strip the All-Star Game from Indianapolis as if Indiana fans haven't been showing up in record numbers. They're looking for any excuse to go after Caitlin Clark and the Fever. And from here, there seem to be two schools of thought. Again, this all stems from the fact that there are a ton of fans, a ton of regular sports fans that are now watching this league when they've had this league all to themselves. It's kind of funny because what the league is really revealing is that it's super thin-skinned. The WNBA hasn't had this kind of attention before. And now that it's here, it doesn't seem to know how to handle it. These are sports fans we're talking about. They taunt, they heckle, they cheer for their side and boo the other. That's part of the culture. I mean, have you ever been to Fenway wearing a Yankees hat? You'll hear it from the crowd all game long, and nobody launches an investigation. It's part of the sport. Even Kathy Angelbert said it herself. The players don't have to be nice to each other. That tension, that rivalry, it's what makes the competition great. So let them compete. Let it be intense. And let basketball plays be basketball plays. But then there's this. There are literally players in the league that would rather burn down the league than have it succeeded with Caitlin Clark in the league. They would rather burn it down. And that is that's the case. You know this case. I don't even have to say which players. You know that's the case. Unfortunately, it seems like there are some who just can't win if it's Caitlin leading the way. And as we've seen, it took just one game for the WNBA to indirectly paint Indiana Fever fans as unsafe. One night, and we're already reigniting the same talking points from last year. And for the haters, it handed them what looks like a whole season's worth of ammo from a basketball play and a misinterpreted sound effect. That's all it took. Because as we've seen time and time again, it really doesn't take much for the WNBA and many of its fans to trip over their own feet. If you're still here, drop a goat in the comments because that's exactly what you are for watching the whole thing. See you next time.